Blessed greetings, everyone. Today we are going to hear a bit more about the Feast of Tabernacles. The Feast of Tabernacles 2021 Intent with the Lord. The Feast of Tabernacles is a continuation of the series of recent important milestones, which are Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. While Rosh Hashanah marks 5782, Yom Kippur brings us before Him in accountability. 4 days after Yom Kippur, the Feast of Tabernacles begin. It is a 8-day celebration which starts in the evening of Monday 20th September and ends in the evening of Monday 27th September 2021. 8 signifies new start, and this 8 days of celebration marks a new journey, a renewed journey with the Lord of the Tabernacles. Now, the Feast of Tabernacles is one of the 7 feasts appointed by the Lord. The 7 feasts, namely, the Feast of Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Feast of First Fruits, the Feast of the Harvest, the Feast of Trumpets, the Day of Atonement, and the Feast of Tabernacles. These feasts are mentioned in Leviticus 23, Numbers 28 to 29, and Deuteronomy 16. While Leviticus 23 talks about the Sabbath and the 7 feasts, Numbers 28 to 29 talks about the offerings, and Deuteronomy 16 talks about the pilgrimages to the feast. Now, the 7 feasts mentioned in Leviticus 23 are appointed seasons by the Lord, and the Feast of Tabernacle is appointed as a time of celebration, taking time out with the Lord and celebrating His goodness. Unlike the other feasts, for the Feast of Tabernacle, we are instructed to build tents and stay in it for the 8 days. Now, in real times, the children of Israel were required to do it. But as I reflect, I understand it as a spiritual moment with the Lord. Building a tent with Him in these 8 days spiritually. Yes, it is agreeable that we have been spending time with the Lord all these days, so why specifically on these 8 days? Simply because this is an appointed feast, an appointed season. Basically, an invite to build our spiritual tents, our lives in Him by taking conscious time to dwell more in His Word, more in His Spirit, and more in His workings. Reflecting the journey which He has walked you through this past year and how faithful He has been towards you. The tabernacle is the dwelling place of the Lord, and we are invited to forge an intimate relationship with Him in the tabernacle in this appointed season. And it is through such an intimacy with Him that we are being set apart for Him and by Him. As such, setting apart these 8 days as intent with the Lord marks a difference from our daily walk with Him. As much as these 8 days are appointed by Him, we taking deliberate efforts to set apart, appoint for ourselves these 8 days to commune more with Him is a significant milestone in our relationship with the Lord. Exodus 25 to 40 describes God dwelling with men through the man-made tabernacles instructed by the Lord. And in the New Testament, John 1:14 talks about the Lord Jesus Christ as the Son of God who tabernacled among men. The Hebrew Bible refers the tabernacle as mishkan, meaning residence or dwelling place, also known as the tent of the congregation, also tent of meeting. Thus, the understanding of the word reiterates that the tabernacle is the meeting point with God in a tent. In other words, intent with the Lord. The tabernacle becomes a touch point where you meet Him in the tent, a touch point for your encounter with Him, an invitation to look deeper into His heart. Will you accept the Lord's invitation to meet Him in your tent in this appointed season? Even as you ponder and make conscious preparation to meet Him in your tent, may the Spirit of God work His works in you. May the Lord bless you and grant you His favor as you walk into your tent to meet Him and be blessed with His communion with Him. Blessings and shalom. Stream of love.